Good morning again, and thank you for tuning in for episode 2 of my virtual tour of my outdoor garden railroad. It is January 30th, beautiful winter day, nice and dry, thankfully. Yeah, we got some slight overcast, but no chances for rain and should be pretty dry throughout this video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining our third layout here. It's our longest one and our most recent one. Still a work in progress. It is set up in a dog bone. It's 215 feet of track, and it's divided up into 3 sections, and we're going to go through everything. This is dead rail, so there is no conventional running. Everything is converted over to battery power. And if you want to know how I did that or what dead rail is, please look at my other videos and I can explain that more, or just simply ask a question. This is our city section right here. It's seasonal. We're going to set it up for Christmas and Halloween, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, military, you name it. It's just always going to change, and I think that's pretty cool. Our middle section here, where this mountain, handmade mountain here. I love doing this project. I have a video clip of us making it. This is our middle section, and it is set up for the Texas Hill Country. And we have some Harry Potter stuff. My better half Valerie loves Harry Potter, so I'm thinking about doing a whole Harry Potter scene here. Got some live plants. I got a tunnel here. It has a solar light inside, and the solar panel is all the way over there, but it lights up at night, and I think it's pretty cool. As you can tell, I got different types of track. I will explain that here in a few. I'm just going through. This right here is the start of our third section. This is a Texas themed section again. We named this one White Skull Pass, hence all the skulls. My handmade water tower there out of an oil filter and some coat hangers. Got a horse skull. Got a hog skull here in a succulent planter I made. Bridge here made out of scrap rebar. And then I hooked up some solar lights so it lights up at night and it looks really good. Longhorn skull right here. I actually have solar lights in that, and that lights up at night. Our little oil field slash farm diorama here. All these prints were printed, custom printed by my buddy Cake Customs. He did a phenomenal job on it. He took my ideas that I had in my mind and he did some custom prints for me, and it just came out so well. That is a Lionel Plasticville water tower that I gutted and I put a succulent plant in. We'll see how long that lasts. Again, it's plastic, but I did UV coat everything, and I'm hoping it lasts quite a while. I also got some succulents in here. That's a hibiscus plant. All my plants are in dormant mostly. Got some salvia that's still growing. My Texas lantana. This plant right here I will be taking out and transplanting it, only because I think it's gonna be a lot to maintain when it starts taking off in springtime, and it might cause me some trouble. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be taking that out and moving it elsewhere. I got my military statue here that Valerie got me for my birthday last year, and I absolutely love it. Right now it's a little windy, so I don't have the flag on it. And then I have a solar light aiming toward that so it lights up at night. And here's my little planter's box full of some succulents and some Texas cactus, and I think it came out pretty good. Like I said, this layout is nowhere near done. I have a lot of ballasting to do. I still have to get more Atlas track to take out the tubular track as funds permit, and plant some more plants. But that's the fun part about doing garden railroading. If you love the outdoors and love gardening, it goes hand in hand, and it's one of my biggest and favorite hobbies. So moving on, here's another print done by Cakes Custom, my train station. did a very good job, and I painted it off a picture from a train station, old train station out in Katy, Texas. And I tried to match it up the best I could, and I think it came out pretty good. And of course, I'm a huge Donald Duck fan. My family knows that, so I had to add old Donald there, waiting for the train. I'm just looking for a nice little Daisy figure, and I can add her right next to him. And I got some succulents and then some rocks, transitioning into the hill country section. I like how they turned out. I'm probably gonna adjust it more and add some more detailed to it, so that way it flows. Dollar Tree and Dollar General are a good place to buy some O-scale, buildings. And right here we got a propane tank that I painted and clear coated, and I set it up there. I think it's pretty good. Moving on. For Christmas, Valerie got me these stepping stones so I don't kill the grass and I don't have them trails walking on it, and I can't wait for Mother Nature to take over and start filling in like these bricks right here. And I love that look. I know some people don't like it, but I love the natural when Mother Nature takes over, and I think it's gonna suit this layout pretty good. And here we're gonna go into detail with the mountain. So if you want to know how I did this mountain, I did it with concrete, chicken wire. I used some old bed sheets, some old clothes that the kids don't wear anymore, and basically soaked everything in concrete and threw it over the chicken wire where I wanted to make my mountain. I do have a video clip of us making the mountain. If you want to know how we did that, feel free to check out that video. And then, of course, as a veteran, I love military stuff, and I had to add in a A10 Warthog here. The Harry Potter mountain. The railroad sign. My buddy at work, Kevin Manning, aka Bones, got me this for Christmas, and it looks awesome. I thank him every day for it. And over here in this rock area, I planted some more Texas lantanas. I want to incorporate so much natural landscape in this layout, and I just can't wait for them to start growing in the springtime. And right here, going into the city layout again. Again, a lot of my buildings are Lionville because that's what I have had from my indoor layouts, and I'm going to be adding some solar lights if they last. I kind of don't want to put too much time into it because I don't know if they're going to warp or disintegrate. I really don't know. This is all trial by error for me. There's not a lot of people here in San Antonio that do dead rail, let alone garden railroading. And there's not a lot of stuff in O-gauge here in Texas for outdoor garden railroading. And again, right here is our city layout. For Christmas, we had a whole scene set up with white trees and Santa Claus and everything, and it looked really good. You can go through my Facebook page or my railroad's Facebook page, Lucky Ranch Railroad, and you can see how we set everything up. Excuse me. Right here is my little yard. I do have some switches on the way, so I can make a little sidetrack here, and I can have another train on standby. That way, when one dies and I have to put it on charge, I can start running the other train. And those switches are being sent to me by my good friend in Auburn, Washington, Ed Patterson. He has been one of my biggest inspirations since I started this venture. He has given me the most help, and I couldn't thank him enough. And he's become truly one of my really good friends. And I can't wait for him to come down and take a look at my project in person one day. And I can't wait to fly up there and see his project one day. Here's an empty pot I got ready. I'm thinking of a fire bush to go here. My mother has one in her yard, and it's absolutely beautiful, and how big it gets. And I think a plant coming out of here, having a dome shape would just do wonders for the look. Got a tree that fell down, got some birdhouses. Lighthouse find. The lighthouse find was a garage sale find, and it's all cast iron, super heavy. I didn't have to paint it or anything. I haven't even done clear coat on it, but inside I put a solar powered tiki lamp in there, and it flickers like a light tower, and it's just awesome. And then the lanterns, I did the same thing. I took out the glass and the wicks and everything, and I glued tiki lamps on them too. All solar powered. And at night, it's absolutely beautiful. So, on to the 3 types of track. When I was doing indoor layouts, I had, of course, your conventional tubular old school track, and I have a ton of it. So when I started this adventure, I was using tubular track, and of course I wasn't dead rail yet. All my trains were still running on conventional transformers. The track would rust, so that's when I made the move to dead rail, battery operated, radio controlled. Since then, as funds permit, I have been converting over to Atlas track. The Atlas track is a brass rail, so it doesn't rust, and it has a UV protected or UV rated railroad ties, and they look pretty good. And as I said, as funds permit, I'm slowly converting over. They're kind of hard to find right now, even on eBay, and when they are, it's pretty expensive. But eventually it'll all get done. But until then, tubular track, it's all right. It's just rusty, and it may last a year or 2 or 3 before I actually have to swap it out for another piece of tubular track. But I got buckets upon buckets upon buckets of tubular track, and there's always people throwing away rusty track on the Facebook pages, and I'll gladly take them and I'll add them to the railroad. So besides that, this railroad is operational, and I'm just working on the detail, tying everything in. But what's next? Next is going to be another dog bone over here. It's going to be a tight curve, 027 curve dog bone coming over here, along the railroad tie, along the bridge, all the way over here, curving, and then over here. And that's going to be for like, switchers or steam engines, smaller ones obviously that can handle the 27-inch curve. And I'm just going to add to the scenery. It's always going to be evolving. I have dreams, goals, and ambitions, and eventually my entire backyard will be one giant railroad empire. And if y'all have any questions on what I've done, feel free to ask me. I'm an open book. I do these videos in hopes to inspire other people in my area to get out and do some garden railroading. There's one last look. Everyone, enjoy your weekend.